the show, guys. We're gonna talk a little bit about the injury bug that is hitting New York sports.
It's awful.
I'm just gonna start
Let's
off with the Rangers.
Start off with the Rangers.
Igor.
I'll let Steve go about this because he knows more about this situation. For those that don't know who the Rangers' really good goalie was, I'll let you go.
Igor Shesterkin. He was carrying the team. I mean, I still have faith in Georgie that we could still get in the playoffs somehow, some way. But obviously, Igor was a notch above him, and some guy just decided to make a legal U-turn right in front of him and Buchnevich.
I don't know who Buchnevich is.
Well, that's another Rangers player. He only got a concussion from it. He'll be back in a couple of days. But Igor suffered a broken rib from the accident because this guy doesn't know how to drive. He was taken out, I think it was a Mercedes or something like that. He was just trying to drive on the streets. This is why people can't drive these days, because some guy just makes a random U-turn right in front of him. Broken rib, out for at least 2 weeks, probably more toward a month though. And the Rangers are going to need to rely on their back.
Well, I will say, it could have been a lot worse.
I mean, it could have been.
It could have been a lot. He could have passed away. He could have had a career-ending injury or whatnot. Yes,
but it could have been better. He could have just got a concussion like Buchnevich.
That is also true. But how does this impact the Rangers' playoff push? You know this better than I do.
It definitely impacts it. Igor was 9-1 before this rib injury, so that's a 90% win percentage. Georgiev, I think he's 16-12, so you just see the significant difference in win percentage. I mean, I still have faith in Georgie that he could lead us to the playoffs, but I think if Igor was in, I think it's almost a guarantee that the Rangers get in the playoffs. Just my opinion.
Would you say that would you elevate the team around him in the sense that he gives the defense more confidence?
Oh, absolutely. I think I told you on the last show, when a goalie is constantly making big saves that shouldn't be made, it leads to breaks on the other way because the team is pushing everybody forward because they feel like they should score. So if you push everybody forward and score, then it's not going to matter. But when you don't score, it leads to 2-on-1 breaks the other way, and that's how the Rangers can get a lot of goals when you got Panarin and Zibanejad, people like that on the other side.
As well.
And Kreider. You got goal scorers.
But yeah, I feel doesn't this always there's not even just the Rangers that are just getting hurt as well. The Yankees are being slandered and crushed. We already brought up Paxton last week, I believe. And then when you think things couldn't get worse, Severino. Tommy John, that's their 6th Tommy John surgery in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a lot, but Tommy John surgery has increased dramatically in the recent years.
Well, yeah, it has because everyone's trying to throw as hard as they possibly can.
Right.
I feel like that has a part to do with it.
Yes.
Everyone's people are focusing rather than on spin and deception. Now people are just trying to do spin and deception along with throwing 98, which is deadly for your arm. But it's just terrible. I knew something like this would be bad because they said it dated back to 2019 during the 2019 season. Remember when Severino was having the shoulder soreness throughout, and then it came up again, or not? This wasn't shoulder soreness, but somewhere in here, and it came up again. I'm like, this is not going to be good, and I didn't think it'd be Tommy John bad, but my good, he's gonna miss this entire season and probably, I'd say maybe till June of next year when he come back. Would you agree?
No, Tommy John's not that long. He's getting surgery now, right?
Yeah, I know.
Tommy John's 10 months.
He's definitely out for this year.
Yeah, it's 10 months.
Oh, okay. So he'll be back for next year.
He should be back for next year, no problem.
Okay. Well, hopefully, fully recover.
Yeah, unless you have a setback or something like that. That's the only way you wouldn't come within 10 months.
Yes, and as we all know, to me personally, this just brings the Yankees back to square one. Not even 2019 where we had Paxton at the very least. This is 2018 where we had no other starting pitching.
Well,
outside of one star, which was it was just Tanaka and Severino, and now it's just Garrett Cole and Tanaka.
Well, if you think back to 2017 though, when we made our miracle run, we didn't have that much pitching then either. We were struggling in the pitching, and then they turned it on in the playoffs.
Yes, I know, but it would have been nice to have Severino. Paxton.
It's always nice, but
I feel like it's just a huge Would you agree that the Yankees were title favorites going into this year's baseball season?
Yes,
but now with the injuries, we're not.
Well,
and, I feel like even if we get there, I don't know if we'll have enough to beat the Dodgers.
It was multiple things. I think we went in as title favorites, but then the Dodgers made a trade for Mookie Betts and David Price. I think that evened. We were even odds already before the Severino injury even happened.
And now
now we're going to be under the Dodgers. So it's going to be the Dodgers are heavy favorites now, and then the Yankees are behind them.
which it's unfortunate because I was looking forward this year to seeing like finally we're gonna have a really good pitching staff. I haven't seen a really good Yankees pitching staff in like
Ever.
10 years.
No, even 10 years ago.
Even 10 years ago, like
we
that
were
was
a hitting team.
yeah. That like I haven't seen like we had two aces, a solid number two as our third starter, and then our fourth starter was a solid number two as well. It was one of the better rotations in baseball in my opinion, going into the season. And now it's just even worse. And now it's just awful. Well, not just awful. Now it's just back to where we were. I didn't want to have to rely on Jordan Montgomery and like even Herman. Even Herman's an idiot and like he got suspended, so we're not gonna have Herman for a while. I don't even know if he'll be back on the team. But we're not even gonna have like I don't want to have to rely on Jordan Montgomery. He's a solid pitcher, but like he's also coming off with Tommy John surgery. I don't want to have to rely on Luis Cessa for like a bullpen game. I don't have to rely on these guys. It's just annoying.
I think you're looking at this in too much of a negative point of view, though, and that's coming from a very negative person.
I know
because Paxton's coming back. You're making like he's out for the whole season. He's only missing like a month or so of the season, maybe 2 months, so he'll be back. We got Garrett Cole. Hopefully, he doesn't get. If he gets injured, then I might turn negative because that would be horrible.
That'd be horrible.
You got Tanaka. He's had injury problems in the past, but he figured it out last year. He didn't get injured.
Yeah, Tanaka's fine. I trust Tanaka.
Right.
And then playoff Tanaka is just a whole nother
right.
animal.
Montgomery, before he got injured, Montgomery's a solid starter. He doesn't throw hard, but I have complete faith that Montgomery will have around a 3.5 ERA. He'll be a pretty decent pitcher. And then you're forgetting J Happ.
J-Happ, you know how I feel about J.
Yeah, you could feel all you want.
I'm not a J-Happ guy at all.
It's just a fact that the last month of the season he picked it up significantly. He was a pretty decent pitcher. Even in the playoffs, he was a decent pitcher. He got homered off Correa, but we all know that the Astros are cheaters. So who knows if he knew that fastball was coming right down the middle like that. So J-Happ, I don't know. I have faith that he could pick it up. And also we have I think what's his name, Davy Garcia coming up from the minor leagues. I don't know if he's ready yet, but he's going to be a good pitcher down the road.
He might have to be thrown into it now, which stinks because I don't know if he's ready either. He's like, what is he, like 19 years old or something like that?
Right.
He's our number one pitching prospect. He's supposed to be really, really good, but as every prospect is apparently. But I don't know if he's ready. I don't want to like rush him into it.
Right. So
we also have a new pitching coach, so fingers crossed.
Oh yeah, and he can't be any worse than Larry Rothschild. Bringing that
Rothschild used to be like good to us.
Rothschild's awful. Yeah, when was he good?
I don't know. I feel like he wasn't that bad.
No, he was bad. Since he got there, the Yankees pitching staff has been awful. He's only been with us for like 3 years.
Yeah. Who do we pick up?
We had Dave Island for a long time.
Who's our pitching coach now?
Somebody from the Twins or something like that, or was it Cleveland?
If it's Cleveland, I feel pretty good about it because Clevenger, Kluber, Carrasco.
I think it was Cleveland.
If it was one of, I'll look it up. Hold on. But if it is from Cleveland, I think you're right.
Right. But even
we talked about this before, like not before the show, but like on one of our shows.
Even if worse comes to worse, like our starters don't perform the way it should, we have an elite bullpen. So we might just have to bullpen just like we did last year. That's exactly what we did last year until our starters started to get healthy at the end of the year.
Oh, it's not Rothschild anymore.
Well,
they haven't updated it
yet. They don't have it
yet. Matt Blake is
it sounds
name.
like he's from Cleveland.
That does sound like a Cleveland name. Matt Blake.
Cleveland.
Look at that. Yeah, it's Cleveland. He's Cleveland. So yeah, like that makes me feel a little bit better because I forgot Rothschild wasn't there anymore.
Right.
And
yeah, I think you're looking at it as way too. I'm a negative person, and you're looking at this way too negative. I don't think it's as big as what you're making. I think it's big when it comes to when we play the Dodgers because I think we're gonna get through the American League. I'm pretty confident in that.
Well, I don't even the Astros still have all the talent.
But but they were cheaters. I don't know how good they actually are. We'll see.
We don't know how good they are.
And they're going to get plunked all year. They might get injuries from that.
That's another thing. That when I checked a couple of days ago, this has nothing to do with Yankee injuries, but what was I going to say?
They've had 6 people getting hit by pitches?
Yeah, 6 people in like 3 games, like already just getting beamed. And I find it hilarious.
Well, they deserve it.
Yes.
Most of them didn't apologize. Only a few people apologized. So most
And
of
like
those
they're not
players
even on
deserve
the
it.
team anymore. So
Exactly.
who knows if they actually would have apologized if they were on the team.
Yeah, you're right.
And I mean, I guess you're right. I really don't know. I mean, the Twins are pretty good, but we own the
Yeah, we
Twins.
own the Twins. The Athletics, they usually choke in the playoffs. They usually lose to us. Who else is that? Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay is pretty good.
They're
actually.
good, but they don't really. They always
Boston-
overachieve.
That's true. Boston's getting a little worse now.
Boston got a lot worse.
Boston. Not. I don't think they lost Mookie Betts.
They traded their best player and David
Oh,
Price.
they don't even have a third baseman on it. Or
They don't have a second baseman.
oh, it's second baseman that they don't have.
Yeah,
they have a third.
They have a third
They have
baseman.
Devers.
They don't have a second baseman.
That's true.
Pedroia got hurt again. I don't know why he keeps trying to come back. Like, no offense to the guy, he's a good man, but like, that's enough. Retire, because he's continually going back on the IL every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's still one more injury you haven't even gotten to yet. After Giancarlo Stanton also got hurt.
He'll be back for the regular season.
He'll be back, but he's questionable for opening day, which is just like, I mean, this one isn't that significant, but it just seems like the trend of players in New York in general of just getting hurt. Like I can even go about the Jets. Like the Jets play like half their team died, realistically, and like even like the Giants a couple years ago. Like obviously injuries happen with every single team, but I feel like with New York it's just a little bit more.
Yep, and that does affect championships. New York hasn't had a championship in a while, and I mean I was hoping it would be the Yankees this year, but it's looking less and less likely.
I agree, and it's just kind of. I mean, you never know. The Dodgers are notorious chokers, but who knows? They
Exactly.
wouldn't have choked in 2017 if it.
For the cheaters.
The
Yeah, but you could say
cheat-
the same thing about the Yankees in 2017. They might have.
It could have been Yankees Dodgers.
It could have been Yankees Dodgers. The Yankees could have won. The Dodgers could have won. You know, the Astros. They really.
Even like the Red Sox even could have been in the ALCS originally. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean the Red Sox got killed though. I mean
That's
they
true.
could have, but they got killed. I
That's
don't know if
true.
that would have made a difference.
That's true. But anything else you want to bring up in terms of like the base, in terms of like injuries in New York? Any other injuries that you can think of for the New York teams?
Oh no, that's about it for injuries. I'm just saying if for people that are Yankee fans out there, we still have the hitting power. We have the bullpen. So even though
We're basically it's last year.
right, so even though Danny is very negative, I feel like the Yankees are still going to be second best team, clear second best team in the MLB this year.
I hope so. I hope there's really no worries about that.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of break. We're gonna talk. What is it? Which one?
The crazy things going on with the NCAA basketball right now.
Yes. We'll get into it, but just know there's a lot of upsets and rankings changed, and there's gonna be more changes next week because another top team lost.
Yes, sir.